You know, it's kind of hard to know who to support during a revolution because I start talking about supporting the revolutionaries and people will tell me, you don't know what these revolutionaries are doing. They're not really revolutionaries. They're scumbags and they're attached to another land. So it's hard to get the truth when you read about a revolution. Is it a real revolution or is it just a scam? Is it a bunch of thugs looking to seize power? So instead of having a revolution, they end up being in control so they can kick ass. So they're scumbags. You are a revolutionary, and next to you, cheering with you, is a scumbag. How do you know? How do you know what percentage of your revolutionaries aren't really revolutionaries? And how many of them are just scumbags and dirtbags? That's a good question. What is the majority? And see, I want to support the revolution, but I don't want to support the scumbags. But every revolution has scumbags. And that's what makes revolutions shaky when they get shaky. People who are cheering with you are going out and doing horrible things because there are people in your revolution who don't want a revolution. They want their side to take over so they can start killing and kicking ass. And those people do things that damage your revolution. So the question is, what's the tipping point? Who's the majority? What does it take to make a majority of courageous people? People who are fighting just for their side to win, they're not courageous. That's not courage. Fighting for freedom and justice is courage. Because if you're not fighting for freedom and justice, it's better to have a monarch. It's better to have a king. It's better to have a ruler because the ruler is needed, like they say, to protect all of the innocent people from the scumbags who want to take power and kick their ass. Like anybody who in the Egyptian revolution was waiting to say, I can't wait for Egypt to be unstable so we can go kill those Christians. See, those are the people that can nearly ruin a revolution. But what is the tipping point? What does the majority take? Well, let me tell you. I'm going to go by John F. Kennedy, former American president. John F. Kennedy's daughter was handing out Courage Awards, the JFK Courage Awards last week. There were two recipients of this year's Courage Awards. Two recipients of this year's Courage Awards in America. One of them was the Google guys at Ghonim, I forget his last name. Anyway, he's the Google guy who helped support the Egyptian revolution. The award was given to the Egyptian revolutionaries, and it was handed to this guy from Google. And JFK's daughter defined, based on what our president, former president, John F. Kennedy Jr., had stated, what defines a majority in a revolution? You ready? A majority requires one courageous individual. If you have one courageous individual, you have a majority in a revolution. Therefore, all of these revolutions are valid. They have a majority. Even if it's a majority of one, they have way more than that. Back to that talk about it would be better to have a king, a monarch, a ruler, just to protect people from each other because people are such scumbags. Saudis spread word that kings help bring stability. It's a story where the Saudis are saying, hey, the reason we're not having problems is we have a king. It's better to have a king than these revolutions. But here's the thing I heard about Saudi Arabia that's interesting. Tell me if this is true. I think Saudi Arabia hasn't had its Arab Spring, its revolution, because Saudi Arabia is clever. They're very smart. People live better in Saudi Arabia. They eat well. They have good health care. Is that true? And I know a group of Saudis, and they told me that when the revolution started in the other places, mysteriously large sums of money from the Saudi government just popped up in their bank accounts, like thousands of dollars. Is this true? I've heard several Saudis tell me that they were just suddenly, without asking, given thousands of dollars that just popped up in their bank accounts. Pretty hard to start a revolution when the government's giving you money, isn't it? The Jews are feeling so bad about what happened with Obama and the big announcement about the 1967 boundaries that Obama, in order to make up, has promised to polish Jews. I guess they're feeling run down. They need to be spruced up and shined up. What? Oh, it's a capital P. It's Polish Jews?
Oh, he's a pledge to Polish Jews. Oh, I should have read this story. Oh, sorry.